Welcome to Christians for Revival. This is an update on what's been happening here in Florida, Tennessee, and the great state of North Carolina with everything that's going on. As you know right now, today is Monday. We're expecting right here a Category 5 hurricane to hit here in Florida, Milton. At the same time, rescue efforts have been going on to clean up the mess here in Florida and trying to reach those people who are in desperate need. I've collected a couple of clips from various people talking about what's going on and how you can help. So as you listen to the materials and these clips, I'll come on at the very end. One of the organizations, I know when I lived in New Jersey when Sandy hit, one of the organizations that helped us was Samaritan's Purse, and I'll leave you the link for them where you can donate. They came in, my house was damaged, and helped repair it, and at no cost to me. And so that's just one of the organizations. What majorly right now in the North Carolina area, Nashville, where the people are trapped, people have been coming in with helicopters. But the one thing they're asking for now is that people with 4x4s, who can get around where the roads are washed out and bring supplies to these people, is being asked for more. There's a lot of people who've gone in. There's a YouTuber, and I've been trying to get his link, but was unsuccessful up to the time. He went in with a 4x4 truck and brought Starlink satellites. The North Carolina government has totally ignored the area from what he's saying. And what he has done is brought, I think he said 100 Starlink satellites. And he's been going to sheriff departments and police departments and fire departments and setting them up one by one, because up to this point they've had no ability to connect on the outside world. And surprisingly, North Carolina has not activated the National Guard to come in and help these people. So let's look at the clips. And each one of these people who are helping are looking for ways for people who can help them financially to get more materials or bringing stuff into those deserted areas. And if you want to support the channel right now, we're expecting right now a major hurricane, and you'll notice the link. Buy Christians for Revival a cup of coffee. That's how you can donate. That's how you can help us keep the word out. Be back in shortly.
Alexa, was Hurricane Helene artificially manipulated?
From egettalk.com. To reduce the amount that can be paid out as compensation, Hurricane Helene was then artificially created, just like cloud seeding used to control and manipulate the weather, to flood and devastate those places and crash the value of land there.
Rich, stop. That's Jesus. Their damn village happens to be resting on the richest unobtainium deposit within 200 clicks in any direction. I mean, look at all that cheddar.
Well, who gets him to move?
Yes.
What if they won't go?
Oh, I'm betting that they will.
Okay. Look. Killing the indigenous looks bad. But there's one thing that shareholders hate more than bad press, and that's a bad quarterly statement. I didn't make up the rules. So just find me a carrot that'll get them to move. Otherwise, it's gonna have to be all stick, okay?
You got 3 months. That's when the dozers get there.
But we're wasting time.
I like
behind us just rose higher than it's ever come up before. It was rushing water.
Houses above us were taking off the foundations. I've been here for over 50 years, but this was quite devastating.
Our neighbors have a 10-day-old newborn. We were able to hold them up over our heads and passed all the children down, got them into the vehicles so we could evacuate. As we were driving out, we saw trees coming down, just praying that we could go through with our vehicles and get up to safety.
When this hurricane hit, Samaritan's Purse already began posturing equipment, and we were getting ready, but we weren't quite sure it was going to hit here in Boone, North Carolina, our hometown. This is personal to Samaritan's Purse because we have lost so much here. As I look around, we've got a lot of loss. We got a lot of destruction. People that have lost everything. The most important thing we do is to love our neighbor in the name of Jesus Christ and to bring hope where they may not have any hope.
When I saw those orange shirts come onto the property, I really hadn't cried until I saw them step off that truck. The love and the compassion, the care and the concern with everything they did was just amazing. I've never experienced God's love like that.
You never think that a disaster is going to happen in your area, and to be able to have them accept help from friends and coworkers in a crisis like this has just been one of the most amazing blessings, just to be able to serve one another and love each other through that service.
It's really hard to put into words even what it means to have a family of Samaritan's Purse rally around us right now. I express the deepest thank you from the bottom of our hearts that you guys showed up in the middle of one of the hardest things we've ever gone through, and that you love us so well with the love of Jesus. That's what you brought, and you know, we're not even crying because of what we lost, but as my mother-in-law says, we're crying because love showed up.
Y'all are literally God's love that showed up on our property. So I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Like never before, Samaritan's Purse has shown the face, the hands, and the feet of Jesus. And you can't put a price on that. There's no way to say thank you enough. It was truly amazing. God, please let me get across, Lord. Let me get across, Lord. Please let me get across. Please let me get across, Lord. We're going to pray. Please, Lord, let me get across. Please, Jesus, please. Please. Oh, that's just amazing.
Don't stand by that window.
Yell at the guy outside.
Hey, there's a building coming! It's gonna hit the corner.
Yep.
Unless it takes the perfect angle.
Oh, come on, baby. Miss us.
Take the angle. Take the angle. Take the angle.
It's gonna hit the pool though, right here.
Didn't hit us.
Holy. It just ripped it in half.
Split it.
Holy.
Anna, you deserve to hear this. I'm a truck driver, all right? I have a 53-foot step deck. I've been trucking for about 2.5 years. I have a YouTube channel, you can verify that on, Babyline Hotshot. Usually in a disaster situation, it is payday for truckers. We look for that hurricane, we look for that ice storm. There's generators coming to you. There's stuff coming out of military bases. There is excavators, skid steers, bulldozers, tree trimming equipment, pumps, like water pumps to pump water out of places that have been flooded. There's no loads on the load board coming to you within 125 miles of Asheville. It's called Truck Stop. This is where I find all my loads. Chicago, Illinois, up at the top. Within 250 miles of Chicago is where I'm going to pick up. The second is the destination. So it goes origin, destination. Watch. See? Drop-off location. Let's do city. North Carolina. Click it. Boom. All right. These are all $1.40 a mile loads, $1.39. That was posted yesterday. I mean, there's nothing. There's nothing. These are loads that you wouldn't even, nobody's taking them. They're just on the load board. They've been on there since yesterday. You can see, right? Let's type in a different city. That's from Chicago. Maybe Tennessee, maybe Nashville is closer, and they'd send resources from Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville, Tennessee, within 250 miles of Nashville, to Asheville, North Carolina, within 125 miles. Let's see, that's it. That's all the loads. That's all the loads that are 28,000 pounds and less. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I mean, what the hell's going on here? I had brokers call me and tell me, Stu, have you seen any loads going to Asheville or like anywhere around the Carolinas, South Carolina, Georgia? Is there any like FEMA loads? There's none. Zero. He's been a broker for 6 years. And he's talking to other brokers. They're saying the same thing. What's going on, guys?
You have to understand in all the pictures that you're seeing that the fire department, the police department, many of the services have been destroyed completely. No telephone service, very spotty service, and like I said, people are going out with Starlink satellites and connecting all these issues. But at the same time, there seems to be some kind of force that's going and fighting against this actually happening. And I don't know why. And I'm sure later on we'll try to, as this gets to expose what's happening. But again, keep watching and do what you can personally, whether you send money through Samaritan's Purse or through your church organization. Continue watching the videos.
Doing some hurricane relief and recovery, whatever you want to call it. And all these orange shirts you see around and behind me are Samaritan's Purse. And let me tell you, these guys don't have meetings to fill out forms, to plan a meeting, to get something going. They have verbs in their sentences, they have springs in their step, and they're out making things happen. FEMA, all these other people are talking, thinking. No, not Samaritan's Purse. They're out doing things. I'm in a basement right now that's filled up knee deep at one point with mud. There was water over my head, soaked through the bottom of the floor into these people's house, bucket by bucket, shovel by shovel. It's time to shovel it out, take it by caravan up these stairs and get it out of here so these people can get back to living their lives. I want to keep this message alive. This is a bubble here. People in other parts of the country are living their lives because this is out of sight, out of mind. I don't want it to be. I want to make noise. I want you to see this, hear it, feel it, know it's happening. They need us. They need our help. They need our support. And most importantly, they need to know we haven't forgotten about it. Put them in your prayers, but also put them in your behaviors and let them know that you care. So, Dr. Phil, doing the work, calling you to join me.
4 hours ago, we were reached out to by first responders in the Western North Carolina area, telling us the support that they need. They have food, they have supplies, they have water, but they can't get to the routes that they need fast enough to help the people that need these supplies. We're making an effort to go around town to raise as many chainsaws, accessories, and funding as we can to buy our own, to take up there, equip these people with the gear that they need, as well as help them get the job done. Project Savior Outdoors equips veterans and first responders with forging community, igniting purpose, and defying darkness. So we're igniting that purpose by serving this mission. We could use your help, your support with gear, donations of chainsaws, as well as funds to help accomplish this mission. You can donate at projectsaviorouttdoors.org and help me and the crew be able to make this thing happen. So again, there's nothing different about what we're doing as everybody else is doing across this country, uniting together to make stuff happen for the people in Western North Carolina. But hey, if we can do a little bit each to make a difference, we'll move mountains. Let's freaking go.
And she just looked like she was struggling, so Zach and I helped her. We grabbed her a case of up that was getting goods, and she just looked like she was struggling. So Zach and I helped her. We grabbed her a case of water and stuff. Just wanted to chat to her, see what was going on. You know, just asked her. It's been a wild week you've had, you know, and she started crying. They lost all their pets. Their entire first floor got flooded out. They're trying to stay in the second floor. They had some Amish that came along, some Mennonite, I think she said. They just topped out and started gutting the bottom floor and carrying all the heavy stuff out for them. But she had nothing, and we were like, what else do you need? They had a 1-year-old baby. They needed some diapers. We gave her an entire case of 4s, wipes, whatever else she might need. And then she just said she didn't know how they're going to start over and get going again. So I said, you want cash? So I gave her $400, and that's all stuff that y'all donated and gave, and we wouldn't have been able to do it without you. So just know y'all are truly changing lives.
We appreciate everyone that came together to help us for this. We lost our home in the flood. It's still standing, but we pretty much lost everything. We just don't know how to say thank you enough.
It's truly been a blessing. Thank y'all so much. And honestly, if the thing hadn't got flooded, they'd just spring up there and fill up that spring box.
Western North Carolina mountains, and everybody in my area that I've talked to, including myself, who applied for the $750 assistance payment from FEMA, has been denied. Okay? Yeah. They've denied us. Okay. So here we sit. We've thrown out all of our food because we had no power for 5-6 days. Some still are without power. Here we sit. Limited resources in the store. And they have denied our $750 resource check. So, yeah. How do you like that?
There's somebody swimming over there.
Holy crap, there is. What the heck is going on? There's some Florida stuff happening, guys.
Guys, that's a roof.
Have a shit show, which is okay, right? We're all used to that. So a shit show now is our normal operating procedure. Cool? We can all adapt. Situation normal. Yep. Operation shit show. Perfect. So is everybody topped off on fuel? Everybody's full? If you're not, it's okay because we can top you off.
He's got half.
You got half? I have half as well, so we can top off. Yep. Hey, give me the team. Come on now. Yep. So as far as fuel goes, we can top off before we head out. Because it might get slowed down by Duke Energy, all this other stuff. The unknown. So that's fine. Second, when we get up there, like I said, we're getting all motivated, we're ready to go.
One Pageland man's efforts to help are now the source of controversy. He flew his own chopper on his own dime to help stranded victims, but that man says he abandoned his rescue missions after a fire official threatened to have him thrown in jail. Well, that man now wants answers and turned to Queen City News chief investigator Jody Barr to help figure out what went wrong here.
This is the original post that I was reading when I decided to go up and help. It's a long post, but she's saying that her kids and family and animals are trapped. No way out, no supplies, and the only way in or out is accessible by helicopter. Limited cell service and no water since Friday morning. I thought I have a helicopter and maybe I can help.
Jordan Sidham piled food and water into his helicopter Saturday and headed up toward Banner Elk, the only way through a mountain gap in Lake Lure.
This is the mountain valley that you would have to fly to get to Black Mountain, where we were escorting people out. This is a mountain range, and this is a mountain range. The only place to fly through with bad visibility, low cloud coverage, is Lake Lure.
The cries for help from people stranded without food, water, or electricity hit social media soon after the flooding last Friday.
But my parents are stuck there. Their address is Banner Elk. They are in the first condo. If you receive this, please give me a call back. Thank you.
Sidham's phone started lighting up on Saturday with people begging for help.
I could hear the desperation in her voice. This is multiple phone calls I've received like this, voicemails, text messages, and you could hear people desperate for help.
Sidham and his son rescued 4 people on Saturday and spent the night in a nearby pilot's lounge, then decided to fly again Sunday morning.
I spoke with my son, which is my co-pilot. I said, hey, do you want to go back out and try to help today? And his response was, there's so many messages, I don't think we can't not go help.
Sidham and his son were headed up to Black Mountain. Flight tracking shows no flight restrictions in place Saturday or Sunday morning when Sidham flew through the Lake Lure Gap. But that was all about to change. The Sidham spotted an older couple waving for help, then landed in what's left of their driveway.
Hey, I want you to let me get in. You step out and go out, help her in, put her bag in the back, get her strapped in. I'm going to take her down, come back. I'll take him, I'll come back, and then I'll get you, okay?
I originally left my son, co-pilot, on the side of the mountain. It was kind of unstable, so I didn't want to put more weight in the helicopter to lift back off. So I left my son with the other victim, and I was just going to take one person down at the time. And you could hear me in the video talking through with the victims and with my son what we were going to do.
3 minutes away, Sidham spotted a group of rescuers just down the river. He landed and found someone in charge.
Told him my background experience, law enforcement, firefighting, pilot. He immediately started helping with coordination. He gave me radio frequencies to coordinate with them on, set up a landing area for me to come back with the other victim. And in the middle of the whole conversation and then blocking the road off, I was greeted by the, at that time I didn't know, but Lake Lure fire chief or assistant chief maybe, and he shut down the whole operation. So at that point I felt like the conversation wasn't going any further, and again he asked me to leave, and I said, hey, I have no problem getting out of your area. If that's what you want us to do, we'll leave, no issue. At that point I asked him, what was the reason I had to leave them there, and he said, again, you're interfering with my operation. I just need you to get out of the area. I said, sir, I don't know where you were trained at, but I know how my training is, and I'm not going to leave personnel behind. I'm going back to get my co-pilot. He said, if you turn around and go back up the mountain, you're going to be arrested. I said, well, sir, I'm going back to get my co-pilot. I don't know what to tell you. And he said, I'm letting you know. And at that point, he waved for 2 law enforcement officers to come over and told me that again, if I go back up the mountain, I would be arrested.
He flew the 3-minute trip back, picked up his son, and left the woman's husband behind.
I'm sure he was flooded with emotions and trying to rescue other people, and I just felt that it was best at the time to leave. So I did follow his instructions, and I had a conversation with the female victim before I left, apologized and explained, and she was standing there. She heard the whole conversation. And they were both very, very surprised, very upset. The husband, as I was leaving off of the side of the mountain, at that point, separated from his wife, he was upset. I can only imagine.
Sidham and his nearly 1,400 flight hours turned his chopper around and headed back to South Carolina, passing people waving for help along the way.
As I was actually leaving to go back to get my son, the original chief or captain that I spoke to, his crew and himself, they came back over and said, hey man, we can't tell you to go get the victim. We can't even ask you to go get the victim, but we can tell you if you come back with the victim, we'll have you a designated landing spot, and they won't. We'll make sure they don't come over here.
So there was no flight restriction when you went in?
No flight restriction when I went in. It went in place 20 or 30 minutes after the confrontation with Mr.
You feel like that was coincidental, or do you think that was because of what happened?
I don't think it can be coincidental when there has not been one in place the day before doing rescue operations, the night of, the morning of, that took place after our altercation. I think there would have never been a TFR put in place had we not had that conversation. If I had to do it over again, I would have stopped and I would have rescued as many people until they decided they were going to arrest me.
Well, for now, we've chosen not to name that Lake Lure fire official because communications in and out of that town are still difficult. We want to include his side in this story, and if and when he responds to our messages, we will.
But first thing, you need to be praying. But really look at this situation exactly as what it is. The two areas that got flooded were a lithium mine and a quartz mine. And even Alexa's verifying that cloud seeding was done to redirect the hurricane right up over the area and destroy it and flood it out. And they're not giving assistance. They're not allowing people to go in and help them. Yet people are going around them and helping. And brothers and sisters, I bless you for all the work you're doing. But amazingly, the news is hiding that they can't get anything going on in there. The YouTuber that went in there with a whole bunch of Starlink satellites and is reconnecting the area so that help can be gotten. And very interestingly, this fire official won't let helicopters go in and save these people. You have to wonder what's going on. And we know what's going on because there was a lithium mine, the largest in the area, a quartz mine, and the township people have been rejecting them to expand their operations, and they don't want them to be doing what they're doing. So suddenly, a hurricane forms, unlike any other, is redirected up and over, and the governor of the state is not sending any support, any help, is not called on the National Guard or anything. I believe he's a Democrat, so I don't know what's going on there. But ladies and gentlemen, you can help. I left you a couple of links with you can see where these people are helping and asking for help so they can go and help more. There's a lot of need. Here in Florida, we've had tremendous destruction. Up in Tennessee, tremendous destruction. But the area that's the largest area right now is Asheville, North Carolina, because they can't get to the people and they're asking for help. Samaritan's Purse is the one organization that I personally endorse. SamaritansPurse.org. You can donate to them. But there are many, many organizations. Maybe your church is doing something. And after this is all done, we have to take a good look at what happened, because the two mines that they were being rejected was run by Blackwell and other investment firms, and one of the largest investors is the vice president's husband. You can document that. So if that's true, I wonder, was this a conspiracy or not? I'm not going to say yes or no. You do your research and find out. Anyway, please subscribe. Please share this video. And if you want to, and right now, like I said, Tuesday night, this is being recorded on Monday, there's going to be a major hurricane hitting Florida, Milton. It's a class 5, and my son and I are boarding up and hoping for the best. God bless you all. You have a marvelous day, and be safe.